And were those moments special, obviously? And did you have a plan to play those clips for him to have him get there?
Yeah, there were two ways that we employed those, like in the
Yeah.
body of the interview. Sorry, my dog just sat on the remote and turned the tape. So the impetus behind the iPad was that he doesn't know me, and he's heard every single question that I'm going to ask him hundreds, thousands of times sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a way to bring the real Michael out, that I can't bring out as a guy who doesn't really know him well at all? And he's almost programmed at this point just answer the question the way that you would answer any press conference question and move on. So to get this visceral reaction out of him, honest reaction, I wanted him to hear people saying what they were saying, straight from the horse's mouth, and as if they were in the room and he was having a conversation with them, rather than me saying, hey, well, Isaiah said this is the reason why they walked off in 91 after the sweep. Well, how about I just show you what Isaiah said in our interview with him, and you respond directly to Isaiah or directly to how you feel. Gary Payton says that if he was guarding you from game 1 in the 96 finals, it would have been a different series. I want to see your reaction to that if Gary was in the room. And that's one of my favorites. It's in episode 8. And then his mom, like, he lights up off camera if you talk about his family at all, his brothers, his sisters, his parents, obviously, his dad. But his mom is like, he talks to his mom every day on the phone. He told me he calls her every day. So instead of me saying, hey, your mom told me that you barely had $20 to your name when you were at UNC, I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, man, that was a long time ago. But to stop the interview and give him that and kind of bring his mom into the room, it just seemed like a better way to elicit that emotion. The other thing is kind of like, it's what I call the kid in church method. So if you have like a little toddler in church, you got a toy for them every once in a while to keep them occupied. And 3 hours is a long time for anyone to sit there and answer questions. And you could start to see him drift sometimes, and maybe like his voice gets a little lower, and you just kind of, that's when I would pull that out and be like, well, hey, look at this. And he would pop right back up. You could see it sometimes. Like there's a Reggie Miller clip where I showed him the fight with him and Reggie Miller. And it's like, boom, he's back. It's like a time. His face is right back in it. And when he sees, certain faces, Isaiah and Gary Payton and these guys, he really wants to see what they say. There's an episode 10 thing that we use in the final 10 minutes of the show. It's the last time he looks at the iPad. And I'm not going to tell you who it was or what they said, but it's one of my favorite moments in the entire series. And I think everyone's going to be talking about it the day after the final show airs. So it paid huge dividends. I think the production people were a little confused when I said we need an iPad Pro, the biggest one we can get.
Right.
But it paid huge dividends for us.